Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel Cakes by MK. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a really easy one bowl banana cake. Now this recipe is really easy to make. It's just got common household ingredients in it, and it's a really moist banana cake as well. Also, if you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button below and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you're updated whenever I upload a new video. But apart from that, stay tuned and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So the ingredients for our easy banana cake today are self-raising flour, white granulated sugar, some baking soda, some ripe bananas. So you do want to make sure that your bananas are nice and ripe for your banana cake. And the reason for this is because it's going to help with the texture of your banana cake. So it's going to add moistness to your banana cake as well as a nice sweetness to it. And then we've also got some vegetable oil, some yogurt, and then a few eggs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add all my dry ingredients to my bowl, and I'm just going to whisk it together until it's all completely combined. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a well in the center of my bowl, and then I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients into the middle of my bowl. And I'm just using a spatula to make that little well in the center of my bowl. Now before I start mixing all my ingredients together, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my whisk, and I'm just going to whisk the ingredients that are in the middle together a little bit, just so that the eggs become a little bit beaten before I start folding in the rest of my ingredients. So I'm just really gently whisking it because I don't want to incorporate any of the flour yet. Now once you've given that a little whisk, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start gently folding our ingredients together. Now the key thing when folding your ingredients together is that you just want to do this really gently, so just with a light hand, because you don't want to overwork your batter, otherwise too much gluten's going to form and you're going to end up with a kind of hard cake, which you don't really want. So you just want to mix it together until it's just combined. Now once your batter is nicely combined, the next step is to get it into a cake tin and pop it into the oven. So today I'm going to be making a 2-layer 6-inch cake from this cake batter. So what I've got here is I've got 2 6-inch cake tins, which I have pre-prepared with some Wilton cake release, which is amazing. I will post a link to it below. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to evenly distribute my cake batter into these 2 cake tins. Okay, so I have evenly distributed the batter into the 2 cake tins. I did just eyeball this, but if you're not confident in eyeballing it, then you can use a kitchen scale just to make sure that your 2 tins do weigh the same if you are making more than 1 cake layer. And now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop this into the oven and then we'll be back once it's done. So my banana cakes are out of the oven now. They smell amazing. They've been sitting in the pans for about 15 to 20 minutes to give them some time to cool down for a bit, and now I'm going to take them out of their pans. Now with the Wilton cake release that I used to prepare my cake pans with, my cake layers should just come right out of my cake pan, but sometimes it does need a little bit of help, and if that's the case, then just run a thin knife or a spatula around the outside of the cake, and that should help release it from the cake tin, and then you just turn it over and it should come right out. So my cake layers have come out really nicely, and technically your easy one bowl banana cake recipe is done. So you can eat it just like that, you can put a bit of butter on it, you can ice it if you like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of extra decorating, so stick around for that if you like. But before I continue decorating, I need these to come to room temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let these sit out for a bit for them to completely cool, and then I'll be back to do some decorating. So my cake layers are completely cool now, and now I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of decorating, and then we're going to cut into the cake to see what it looks like. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to trim the tops of my cake layers so that I have really nice flat cake layers. And I'm just going to be using a serrated knife to do this. Now, if you've never made a layer cake before and you have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now, then I do have an in-depth course which you can check out up on Skillshare, which I'll post a link to below, and you can get 2 months free access on Skillshare if you use the link below as well. Okay, so I've got my 2 flat cake layers ready to go for decorating. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start icing my cake layers. So I've got a gold cake board here which I'm going to be using to place my layer cake on. And to ice my cake, I've got a cream cheese Swiss meringue buttercream here, which I will be posting a video up on soon, so keep an eye out for that. Now what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to put a little bit of the buttercream onto my cake board to stick my cake to my cake board. Now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some simple syrup onto my cake layer. Now if you're not quite sure what simple syrup is or how to make it, I'll post a link below to a quick video I've done explaining exactly what it is. And then I'm going to put some buttercream in the middle of the cake layer. And I'm just smoothing it out with my offset spatula. And then I'm putting my next layer on top, but I'm going to flip it over so the bottom of my cake is the top of my layer cake. And then I'm putting simple syrup on my top cake layer. So I think I'm going to go for a semi-naked cake look today. Now if you're not quite sure how to make a semi-naked cake, then I will post a link below to a more in-depth tutorial which I've done on this. But basically a semi-naked cake doesn't have a crumb coat, so you apply your final layer of buttercream on straight away, and then basically you scrape off the buttercream until you can start seeing some of the cake showing through. So now that I've got the buttercream all around the cake, I'm just going to smooth out the sides with my cake scraper. Okay, so now you can kind of see that semi-naked look coming through, and now I'm just going to smooth out the top. So now that I've finished smoothing out the top, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some simple piping on the top and then I'm done. Now for my simple piping, I'm just using a large round tip nozzle and I'm just going to make like little raindrop shapes on the top. And then I'm just going to clean the bottom of my cake board. And there it is, my simple banana cake is all done, and now we are ready to cut into it. So I've just cut through the cake, the layers look really nice and the cake feels really soft too, so it's a really nice moist cake to make, but it's pretty easy as well. I will have the full recipe with instructions up on my blog, which I'll post a link to below. But apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this, and thanks again for watching Cakes by MK.